Hi, we're going to begin our discussion of multitasking in iOS 7 by looking at what happened before and then bringing it up to date in the iOS 7 interface. First of all, I have a simple application. I have a date picker here, and I have a button called Set Alarm. If I look at the view controller, I see I have a property for the date picker. I have a strong property for the alarm date, and this is just an NS date. And then I have the date chosen action, which is what happens when the button is clicked. So now let's take a look at how this all happens. In date chosen, I've set our property alarm date to whatever the date picker's date is. Then in this application, it's very simple. I'm not going to keep a list of alarms. I only want one alarm at a time. And so what I'm going to do is get a handle to the app. I've called it this app. And then I've looked at that array of existing notifications. And I get that array by looking at all the scheduled local notifications within this app. And if the count of existing notifications is greater than 0, I'm going to blow those away by calling cancel all local notifications on this app. So at this point, there are no notifications. We set up a new local notification by using UI local notification, and this is called next alarm, with allocating and initializing the UI local notification class. Now I have a next alarm object, which is a UI local notification. If that object is not nil, we want to set up some properties. We have the fire date, which is the alarm date. We have the time zone, which should be the time zone on the device, and we get this by default time zone. A repeat interval of 0, meaning we're not going to repeat this alarm. Application icon badge number, which will be important if the application is in a background state, but only if it's in a background state. And then we want to make sure that we constrain the application so that if we're in a foreground state, we can set the icon badge number here, but we're going to have to get rid of that icon badge nearly immediately. And then the alert body is what we're going to pass to the alert that we come up with when this notification is fired. And then we schedule this local notification. Now, this notification can happen in one of two states for the application. The application could be in the foreground, where we want to pop up an alert, is all we're going to do here, or it could be in the background. If it's in the background, the system is going to pop up a notification at the top, and we'll see that when we run the app. The system will pop up a notification, and the badge will come up on the application with a number 1 inside it, just to to give the user a visual indication that something has happened within the application. In the first case, if the application is running in the foreground, then the app delegates method called application did receive local notification will be fired. This only happens in the foreground state. This is very important. So now this is going to fire when we happen in the foreground state. We just set up an alert view, and I passed the alert body from where we set up the notification into the message field. Everything else is pretty common. It's an OK button, other button titles is nil, and so forth. Then we show the alert. So again, only when we're in the foreground state will we see this alert. If we're in the foreground state, we want to remove the badge from the application icon. If we're in the foreground state, we don't need the badge. We've gotten the notification, so we get rid of the badge. We get rid of the badge by just setting its icon badge number equal to 0. That will get rid of the badge. The other place we want to set the icon badge number is if we were in the background state and saw the badge and then moved to the foreground state. So in application did become active, we take the badge number, look at it. If it's greater than 0, we set it equal to 0. So in this way, when we re-enter the foreground state, the badge goes back to 0. And that's really it. This kind of notification API has been available to us, as I already said, since iOS 4. But we're going to add some more tools to this as we explore what we can now do in iOS 7. So this is kind of a review, but let's go ahead and run it and see what happens. I want to run it first with the notification occurring in a foreground state. So let's go ahead and set this to 1 minute from now, and we'll say set alarm, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so we popped up the alert. That happened in the app delegate as a result of the application being run in the foreground. And again, this is that message text that we set when we made up the notification. So we'll click OK. And now we'll do it the other way. Let's go to 17, set alarm, and then touch the home button. So now what will happen is eventually when we get the notification, we'll see the notification pop up at the top, and then when that goes away, we'll see the badge on the alarm demo icon. And here we have the alert from the notification center, and here's the badge on the alarm demo icon that tells the user that some notification has occurred. And then again, we get our interface. We could also pass information back to the app to come up at this point, but that's the subject of our next demo. Now, I want to make sure that the badge is reset. We've gone back into the app, and now when we go out of the app again, the badge should not appear. So let's make sure that's the case. And, of course, the badge is gone. Thank you very much.